And Lakers Luka and his squad just cruised 107-96. Of course, no LeBron. Bradley Beal missed the second half. Luka finished with 33, 11, and 8. They do get back into the win column. There you go. And Luka continues to look like, hey, I'm Luka. We know he has a great regular season player, but we also know the playoffs are a different thing altogether. So talk to me, Lou, about what Luka's going to look like in the playoffs.
It's going to look like those highlights right there.
Okay.
You know, this is a guy in 50 games in playoff experience is averaging nearly a triple-double, as you can see on the screen, 39 and 8. Now, that's somebody you can go to sleep at night as their coach and know that the next morning when we're getting ready to play this basketball game, I'm going to have a guy that's going to be there. He's going to be prepared, and he's going to be ready. And you pair him up with a LeBron James, this is going to be a scary team, but he's going to be Luka. Luka's going to do Luka things, he's going to get guys involved. He's going to be aggressive on the offensive end, all things. Now, I will say, we're 50 games in at this point. Leave the referees alone. I want to see that maturation of his game. Leave the referees alone.
No, we're like 65 games in.
Yeah, because maybe, I just feel like maybe we get something better out of it, you know, because every once in a while.
Oh, you're telling him to leave the referees alone?
Yeah, because I want to see these averages go up a point or two. I want to see the assists go ahead and go up to 10, and the rebounds go up to about 11, and you can do that by playing every possession. I think every once in a while he takes possessions off because he's worried about fouls or worried about the refereeing. This is the time for you to be in a new uniform, new attitude. Go out there, show everybody that I am exactly who you think I am. But leave the referees alone. Don't take those particular plays off. Don't take those possessions off. And let's see where these averages can go. So I look forward to it. I'm excited.
This is a guy that led the Mavs 9 months ago to the NBA Finals. So if we're talking about playoffs, I don't think we're concerned about Luka showing up in the playoffs or being impactful in the playoffs. The dude is an absolute stud. He's elite. And I think this season has showed you that the Lakers, they can win games by playing defense. It shows you how important a guy like Jackson Hayes is. When you put him back in the lineup, how much more that expands Luka's game just by giving him a lob threat. And then Austin Reeves, you got to show him some love. LeBron goes down. This dude's numbers are crazy up. He's being efficient. He's going nuts. I think he had 37 or 38 the other night. Follows it up again last night with 27 or 28 points. He's efficient. You can give him the ball. He can play off the ball. So he's showed that he can clearly do more with a bigger role. And Luka's getting more comfortable as days goes on. And again, this team doesn't have to have these explosive offensive nights because they've figured out a way to win games and at least be in games just by playing defense.
Can we look at the standings really quickly? Because it's never too early to start looking ahead at what we want to see as fans. What do we dream of? So the Lakers, right, there is a messy tie going on right here with the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, and the Rockets.
The Rockets are back.
Who do you want? If you're the Lakers, I know you don't get your choice, but let's say you did. Who are you thinking?
The Rockets or the Grizzlies. I don't want the Thunder.
No!
I don't want the Nuggets.
So you don't want them.
But again, I think it's so jumbled up right there. We're going to have to wait a little bit. But yeah, if I had my pick, I'd keep it how it is right now. Give me 4 or 5. Give me Memphis. Obviously, I'd prefer home court. I think they can obviously flip with the amount of time we have left. But I don't want Jokic in the playoffs, and I damn sure don't want SGA in the Thunder.
No, you're not getting the Thunder. No chance. But you could get the Rockets, which is crazy that the Rockets.
I would like the Rockets on the Lakers.
Fair enough. Let's talk Suns for a second, Chandler. 15 of the last 21 have been losses, and if it started today, they would miss the play-in. Oh, man. What are we doing? Is this over?
Yeah, it's tough, but they're also one game out of the play-in, and this is the Dallas Mavericks, who are talking about forfeiting games because they don't have enough players to play, which I didn't even know that was a thing. We haven't even talked, they literally might not play games because they don't have bodies. So that's the team that's one game ahead of them to get in the play-in. Again, it's been such an awful season. It feels like right when it can get worse, it gets worse for this team, but I guess the goal is to get in the play-in, to beat the team with no players, to jump them in the standings with whatever, 20 more games left. So, again, this just hasn't worked. Clearly, there's going to be moves this offseason, and this is not going to be the same team that comes back to Phoenix next year. But that being said, they are one game behind the Dallas Mavericks to get in the play-in tournament. And then again, anything can happen. So I think it's one game at a time, but they don't look much better.
I'm not sure if they're trying to get in the play-in. Yeah. It looks like a team that's not having a lot of fun playing together. It doesn't look like they enjoy the coaching and the direction that they're getting. It's not passing the vibe check. You know what I mean? And again, we talk about this team. So much talent, but they have their issues on the defensive end. In every game now, we're starting to see at least some type of interaction between Bud and one of his superstar guys.
Yeah, we are.
It looked like there's a disconnection there, and losing 15 of your last 21. I don't even know if this is a team that's even trying to get into play, and I think they're trying to wash their hands with this thing.
Just be done.
And start fresh.
For the love of God, just end it.
Yeah, that's my opinion sitting here behind this desk, but I've also been on some bad teams where you really just can't get right. So it looks bad, the optics are bad. If this team can get into play, and I still think they can be disrupted, because I just can't turn my back on the amount of talent that they have on this team. But it doesn't even look like they're trying to get that play-in spot.
And by the way, it's one game. You play like the Kings.
I know, but it's more than just the game, like the numbers on the standings. It's like what they look like. What Lou just said, the vibe check is awful. KD had another heated exchange with Bud. We've already started the whole game of who's coming back after next season. We got the Bradley Beal quote we can get into, but KD, Booker, Bud, and Bradley Beal, who's even coming back next season? It's going to be funny when it's just Bradley Beal, by the way, after all of this.
I think it's going to be Book. We're going to finish this thing. We're going to finish it how we started. Book he's a Phoenix Sun.
Does
he's
he
a
want
Phoenix
to
Sun
finish there?
That's another conversation. I think Book does a great job of keeping his cards close to his hand, and we don't really know much. We don't really hear much about his displeasures about anything. But I think when it's all said and done, Bradley Beal finds another home, KD finds another home, and as much money as they owe Bud, it looks like he probably won't be there either. So,
Good Lord, how many coaches?
We just saw the video of Hart and Tibbs, and was like,
Yeah, it's different.
This is different.
Way different.
This is different. This doesn't feel the same way. It doesn't feel like there's mutual respect here. It feels like this has run its course, and this is going to end with KD getting moved, I think, before they get off Bud, who I think is 5-year, $50 million deal, whatever. I agree with him. I think the last one to go should be Devin Booker. When you draft a guy, he's the longest. He's their guy. And I think Bradley Beal, again, with his quote this weekend, it's all dicey. It's all going to change this summer, but this just isn't working. There's too many videos. There's too many issues. There's too, you know what I mean? There's this. It's just, and they're not winning games. They don't play defense. It's just a bad situation.
By the way, the Beal quote was, "I'm still playing in the NBA. I still have the best job in the world, and still have my no trade clause. So I'm smiling every day." Translation: getting paid, don't care. Anybody want to argue with that?
That's what we call leverage, and that's knowing that your future is in your own hands, and with that. Worst case scenario, I am in control of how this is going to go for me and how my career is going to continue. So, all things considered, he should be smiling every day.
Winning.
Yeah, it's like, say what you want, joke's on you, because I'm not going anywhere, and I'm making a lot of money, and I'm healthy, and you know what I mean?
I'll go if I feel like it.
Yeah.
Literally.
So I think that's why those no trade clauses are so valuable.
Well played. That's we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back to wrap things up. Game Jokic comes out with, I think who you are in the regular season, that's who you are in the playoffs. I think you cannot flip a switch. We don't want to hear that, do we, Chandler? Are you buying that?
I am buying it. And you have to create habits that are all season long that they don't just turn on. And I remember the Heat a couple years ago. It's like, oh, they're playoff, and they had some success. But this is a long, starting from preseason where you develop habits and consistent roles, and that does.